All right, we got a fun one for you here today. We've got a real-life patching video where over the winter some rats got inside of a unit out at Inflatable Company 85. And so Michael Ray's here. He's going to show you how to patch when you got the rat holes in the bottom of the inflatable itself. You can see where got the inflatable totally blown up. And there's actually 3 of us in here. It's pretty funny. So we're going to show you how to do this. Let's go down and see what Mike's working with. He's got 2 giant rat holes right there on the ground.
These 2 close to the seam, close to the baffling wall, they're going to be a little bit more difficult since they're in that corner. But this one that's flat, on a flat area, will be pretty easy. So this is the vinyl glue that kind of everybody uses, the best stuff, strongest stuff. Your repair guys probably use the same thing. It's a HH-66. You can get it off Amazon. First thing, anytime you can patch a hole from the inside, it's better. You're not going to have anything on the outside snagging, any kids or anything dragging to pull that patch off. So what I'm going to do here is just kind of size up what this hole is and go ahead and cut just a basic square for now to cover that hole. Normally when you're doing something on the outside, you'll cut the corners, make it a round patch again so that kids or any other things that it could snag on doesn't snag on it. On the inside, it doesn't matter as much. You can tell we're losing air here. That's already sucking it to it. So now that we know that that's a big enough patch, it's going to cover our hole how we want it. We're going to go ahead and apply the glue on both sides, the patch and the material we're repairing. This stuff is strong, but you can use quite a bit. You don't have to be shy with it. Just put it around the area. And again, on both sides, the patch and the vinyl you're repairing. Line that up where the hole is in the center of the patch. Press everything down nice and neat. If you have any excess glue, don't worry about it. It'll dry up before we even leave, so it's not going to damage anything. A lot of times too, I'll try to have a brick or something to put on it, but we didn't bring one here today, so I'm just going to make sure that it adheres as best as possible while we're in here. So just the air pressure is holding that pretty well. The glue's starting to dry, and that should hold up pretty good.
All right, Mike and I decided to switch here for the last one because we actually have 2 different techniques. So I'm not going to knock Mike's. I will tell you that Mike's technique is a lot faster than my technique. But I was taught mine by a professional repair person. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the extra steps that I like to take. So first off, I'm going to basically do the same thing that he did, which is figure out the size of the patch that I want and cut that. And honestly, even though this is inside, I'm going to go ahead and round my edges just because I always round my edges. Again, the purpose of rounding edges is once this thing is glued down, nothing can kind of pull it up. If you got corners, promise you the corners are the first things that are going to start coming unglued, and then you'll be able to pull it off. So that's the whole purpose of rounding it. I also like to make sure that I do shiny side with shiny side and back side, or weaved the woven side with woven side. So I'm going to put my patch like this. All right, I'm going to do just like him. I'm going to get a nice, generous dose. Again, because we're on the inside, we don't have to be overly cautious about this. If it gets a little bit on the surrounding stuff, it's not that big a deal. I didn't bring my acetone in here, but you can always clean it up with acetone. Adding a little acetone to your bottle also will keep it lasting longer. Now, I didn't put any down there. I'm just going to line mine up. Then I'm going to wiggle it around. And what I'm doing is I'm transferring the glue to both sides. Then I pull mine off. I can see basically where it was. It didn't quite get it all, so I'm gonna just catch those corners. Typically it would get it all, but with this suction it didn't exactly. If I had fully prepared, I kind of take some even additional steps, which is I line it up the way that I want it and I draw a chalk outline around it. That way I can see exactly where the glue's going. The chalk comes right off with acetone in a rag. Now, if you read the back of this container, it's going to tell you to keep them separated until they come to a tacky finish. You don't want it wet. You don't want it wet at all. I'm going to tell you, take it a step further. Not just wait till it's tacky, like this is tacky. Wait till it's completely dry. Now, if you don't have time, it will dry over time. But if you wait till this is completely dry and this is completely dry, it will seal instantly. If I have brought in a heat gun, sometimes I go over it with a blow dryer or a heat gun. This is going to take a minute because we don't have a heat gun.
A few moments later.
So a few minutes have gone by, but you want to bring it to where it's basically, it's not sticky at all. Like it's not sticking to me. It wouldn't stick to the wall really. So you want it to be fully formed. What's going to happen now is because we've brought it to a dry point, when I heat it together, the two glues are going to adhere to each other instantly without any like goopiness in the middle. So it brings it to an instant cure basically. But you got to really line it up because once it's stuck, it is stuck. So you got to really quickly get any air out. Like that. And I don't know if you can tell here, but look, it is done and solid. Even if I put a little fingernail on it, I'm not able to pull anything up. So it takes a little longer to do it this way before you put it down, but you get an instant cure. And everything is fully dry on the inside, so it's an immediate full patch.